There is a moment in your life where everything changes, not because the world shifts, not because luck knocks at your door, but because something inside you wakes up. That voice you've silenced for years, the one that whispers, "You were made for more," it begins to roar. And from that roar comes a decision. A single, uncompromising decision. I will not live the next year like the last. I will not play small. I will not wait to be chosen. I will rise. I will claim what is mine. And I will become a millionaire within 1 year. That decision, that fire, that is not fantasy. That is not delusion. That is clarity. Because the truth is brutal and beautiful. Most people are one disciplined year away from everything they've ever wanted. But discipline is not glamorous. It's not loud. It's not posted. It's earned in silence. It's grown in discomfort. And it's watered with the tears of the version of you that refuses to die quietly. You want to become a millionaire? Then burn the map, the old one, the one they gave you where you trade time for money, where you wait in line, where you shrink your dreams to fit a budget. That map, it leads to average, and average is crowded. Let me be clear. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. You don't chase $1 million. You build the habits, the mindset, the clarity, the fire, and the money comes to find you. Because money is not loyal to effort. It is loyal to value. The more value you create, the more magnetic you become. Not in years, in months, in days, in hours. But it starts here with the mind. If you think like the masses, you will live like the masses. Broken spirit, broken focus, broken bank account. You must declare war on your old mind. That voice that says, "I'm not ready. It's too late. I don't know how." You don't need how. You need why. When your why is strong enough, the how will obey. You think millionaires are lucky? Most of them were forged in the fire of failure. They failed more than you tried. But the difference? They didn't stop at the wall, they broke it. Or they climbed it. Or they built a ladder from the rubble of every no they ever heard. You have to think differently. Millionaires are not special, they're committed. They are obsessed. They live in the future, then bring it into the present. Their vision is not blurred by doubt. It is burned into their bones. And what is vision? Vision is seeing the invisible so you can do the impossible. It is not daydreaming, it is designing. It is not hoping, it is hunting. Every day you must rehearse the millionaire version of you. You must speak it, write it, feel it, breathe it. Not because it's magic, but because it conditions your nervous system to expect more, demand more, be more. You do not get what you wish for. You get what you believe you are worthy of. So speak differently, walk differently, move through the world as if your future already exists, because it does. It's waiting for you to stop waiting. And once the mindset is cracked open, clarity must rush in like a flood. You will not get wealthy by doing more. You will get wealthy by doing right. There is no shortage of hard workers. There is a shortage of clear ones, clear on who they serve, clear on what problem they solve, clear on how to say no. If you confuse, you lose. If you delay, you decay. The world pays premium for precision. You must define your path. Will you sell? Will you build? Will you invest? Will you create? Choose one. Commit to it like your life depends on it, because your freedom does. The most dangerous people in the world are not the loudest, they are the clearest. They do not scatter. They scale. They don't dabble. They dominate. And once you choose your lane, your energy must follow. Purpose is your gasoline, but discipline, that's your engine. You will not feel like it every day. That's normal. Feelings are liars. Discipline is truth. Show up when it's boring. Show up when it's raining. Show up when your friends are partying. Show up when the world is asleep. Success does not care how you feel. It only responds to execution. Let's break the myth. You don't need 10 years. You don't need investors. You don't need permission. You need to start. Start where you are, with what you have, and then build. Stack wins. Stack progress. Stack momentum until your doubt drowns in the flood of your own movement. And yes, action. Ruthless, imperfect action. Ideas are worthless without action. Motivation fades. But systems stay. Build habits that don't rely on willpower. Automate your discipline. Wake up early. Schedule your time like a CEO. Track your energy. Know when you're sharp. Protect it. Guard it. Millionaires don't have time, they make time. Work like your freedom depends on it, because it does. Understand this. Every seed you plant compounds. Every book you read. Every call you make. Every risk you take. Every sale, every skill, every failure. It all counts. It all adds. There is no wasted motion when your direction is right. And yes, there will be setbacks. That's the price of elevation. Pain is not punishment, it is preparation. Struggle is not the enemy, it is the sculptor. Let it carve you. Let it shape the kind of resilience that doesn't break. When the storm hits, it bends, it flexes, and it comes back stronger. Your resilience must be louder than your excuses. You will be misunderstood. You will be doubted. You will be laughed at. Good. That's proof you're shaking the system. Keep shaking. Keep building. Keep rising. The version of you who's already a millionaire, they're watching you, waiting, not with judgment, with fire in their eyes, because they know it was never about the money. It was about who you had to become to receive it. A millionaire mindset is not measured in dollars. It is measured in courage, in decisions, in habits, in belief. And once you lock into that, once you align identity with action, the universe rearranges to match your level of conviction. Gratitude. Remember this word. Etch it into your days. Not for what you have, but for what you are becoming. Gratitude isn't passive, it's powerful. It grounds you. It protects you from ego. It attracts more of what you respect. Be grateful in advance. Speak as though it's already yours, because it is. Your future self is already living the life you dream of. They are whispering back in time. Keep going. Don't stop. One more call. One more hour. One more leap. The breakthrough is closer than you think. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be relentless. You don't need more luck. You need more belief. You don't need their approval. You need your decision. This year, this 1 year, can redefine your entire life. If you're willing to commit like never before, if you're willing to believe like never before, if you're willing to act like your life depends on it, because it does, you are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be, standing on the edge of the greatest transformation of your life. The question is not, can you become a millionaire in 1 year? The question is, will you? Because it is more possible than you think. The clock is already ticking. And every second you hesitate, the old life tries to pull you back. The version of you that made excuses, that delayed dreams, that settled for good enough, it clings, it begs, it fights to survive. Because comfort has claws. But hear this, you cannot build a new world while clinging to the ashes of the old one. Burn the ships. Burn the plan B. Burn the backup. Burn the idea that you'll give it a try and see what happens. That language is poison. You don't try to become a millionaire. You decide, and then you act as if the outcome is inevitable. You live like it's law. And when life tests you, not if. When you answer with grit, not grief. The difference between the rich and the stuck isn't intelligence. It's not talent. It's not even education. It's intensity. It's obsession. It's what you do when you're tired, what you do when you're doubted, what you do when no one claps for you. You think success is loud? Success is quiet. It's built in mornings no one sees. It's built in the no's you turn into fuel. It's built in the deals you pitch while others scroll. It's built in the nights you study while others sleep. It's built when your comfort screams, slow down, and you choose to speed up. That's what makes a millionaire in 1 year. Not magic, not hacks, not gimmicks, just relentless execution with a vision so clear it burns through fog. You must raise your standard for what you allow, for who you become, for how you show up. Because the world does not give you what you want. It gives you who you are. And you, my friend, are not meant to play small. You are not meant to blend in. You are not meant to be broke in spirit and bankrupt in purpose. You are meant to build, to create, to move. Money follows movement. Wealth follows clarity. Power follows purpose. So write the number down, not in pencil, in ink. 100. Not as a fantasy, but as a contract. With yourself. With your future. With the life you will not leave unlived. And now look at your day. Do your habits match that number? Does your circle? Does your focus? Does your urgency? Because nothing changes until everything does. You cannot microwave your way to greatness. You build it with brick and fire, discipline for bricks, vision for fire. 1 year. That's 365 chances. 365 rooms to choose hunger over hesitation. 365 doors to choose growth over gossip. 365 moments to tell the world, I am not like the rest. I will not bow to average. I will not settle for survival. I was born to thrive. You want to be a millionaire? Speak it, breathe it, build it every single day. You sell solutions, not products. You chase purpose, not praise. You lead, you serve, you grow. And when it gets hard, because it will, you do not stop, you rise. Because you know this truth. The road to wealth is not straight. It's jagged. It's filled with lessons that feel like loss and growth that feels like grief. But every stumble is a step. Every tear is a teacher. Every failure is feedback. You are not behind, you are becoming. So let the critics come. Let the resistance rise. Let the fear scream. You've already decided. And that decision is final. That decision is sacred. That decision will lead you to doors that your old self couldn't even knock on. You are no longer chasing $1 million. You are chasing mastery of your mind, of your craft, of your energy. And money is just the applause for a life lived in full volume. The world is waiting. Not for another influencer. Not for another dabbler. Not for another dreamer who talks and never acts. The world is waiting for you. For the fully awakened, wildly committed, impossible to ignore version of you who says, 1 year from today, my life will be unrecognizable. And when you become that person, money won't be the reward. Freedom will. Freedom to move. Freedom to create. Freedom to give. Freedom to live a life that becomes a light for others. That's the real wealth. And it starts with a choice. Right now. So tell me again. Will you? Then act like it. Walk like it. Wake up like it. Breathe like it. Move. Like every step you take sends a signal to the universe. I'm not hoping anymore, I'm building. I'm not wishing, I'm winning. I'm not wondering if I'll make it, I'm already on the way. Because the fastest way to a millionaire life isn't speed, it's alignment. When your thoughts, your habits, your time, your energy, your circle, your focus, when they all say the same thing, this is who I am now, the world has no choice but to move in your favor. It's not about what you do once in a while. It's about what you repeat. Millionaires don't do different things. They do the same powerful things, consistently, obsessively, until their results become undeniable. They don't rise because they're lucky, they rise because they refuse to sink. But don't confuse obsession with burnout. Obsession is fuel. Burnout is misalignment. When your goals are yours, not society's, not your parents', not the world's, but truly yours, then energy flows, even when you're tired. Purpose is a better stimulant than caffeine. So what is your why? Why do you want $1 million? If it's just for the car, the house, the applause, you'll stop the moment it gets hard. But if it's because you swore you'd break a cycle, if it's because you refuse to pass down fear, if it's because you want your children to know abundance not just as a number, but as a way of being, then nothing will stop you. Tie your mission to something bigger than money. Tie it to freedom, impact, legacy. Let your why be louder than the obstacles. And once you anchor into that purpose, you must guard your gate. Your mind is your kingdom. Stop letting peasants run through it. Protect your environment like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Audit your circle. Who speaks life into you? Who drains you? Who multiplies your vision? Who minimizes it? A millionaire in 1 year doesn't just build income, they build immunity. Immunity to distractions. Immunity to doubt. Immunity to people who play small and expect you to apologize for playing big. You cannot soar with anchors tied to your ankles. Cut them loose. Yes, it will be lonely. Yes, they will not understand. Yes, you will have to walk into some rooms alone before you earn the right to walk into rooms that look like your future. But that's the price. And it's worth every tear, every doubt, every lonely morning, because on the other side of that discipline is everything. And when you hit resistance, and you will remember this, pressure is not your enemy. It is your proving ground. Diamonds are made under pressure. Greatness is revealed in resistance. The world doesn't need another comfortable person. It needs a convicted one. Someone so clear, so locked in, so unapologetically focused that reality bends to their belief. That person is you. So rise early, speak boldly, work quietly, build patiently, and when they ask you, "What are you working on?" smile and say, "I'm becoming a millionaire. In 1 year, you'll see." Then keep building. Let your life be the proof. Let your discipline be your resume. Let your results be your voice. And 1 year from now, when the people who doubted you are still watching, still talking, still waiting, you'll be living. Not just rich in money, but rich in meaning, in mastery, in momentum. That is the real goal. That is the real wealth. That is the reward for becoming unshakable. And it all starts now. You don't need the stars to align. You need to align yourself with the stars you were born to chase. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need to believe so fiercely, so ferociously, that your belief becomes contagious, infecting your actions, infecting your thoughts, infecting the very reality you wake up in. You need a mindset that refuses to flinch. You need a vision that doesn't blur when life punches you in the teeth. You need habits that hold the line when motivation abandons you, because motivation will abandon you. It will run when it gets dark. It will vanish when the grind gets heavy. But identity will remain. Your identity is the thermostat. If you only feel like a millionaire when your bank account says so, you'll never get there. But if you feel it, if you carry yourself like it, if you breathe like it long before the evidence shows up, you become it. Success doesn't come to the one who waits. It comes to the one who walks like it's already done. Act as if. Speak as if. Think as if. Because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between a fact and a deeply felt vision. And when you live that vision daily, when your rituals, your routines, your rhythms all scream, "This is who I am now," the world reconfigures itself around that identity. You become a force, but not just any force. A force with clarity. Clarity is your weapon in a noisy world. The world will try to sell you distractions, dressed as opportunities. You must know the difference. You must know you, what you stand for, what you say yes to, and more importantly, what you say no to. The real flex is focus. Focus when it's tempting to scatter. Focus when the dopamine hits call your name. Focus when the world is screaming, "Look over here," and you respond, "I know where I'm going." You want to be a millionaire? Then say no. Say no to mediocrity. Say no to people who want your time but not your growth. Say no to the old you every morning if you have to, because that version will keep knocking. They don't leave easy. But the moment you stop answering, that's the moment you step into power. And don't you dare forget, power is not control. Power is alignment. Power is presence. Power is discipline. Power is knowing who you are, where you're going, and why nothing will stop you. You want 1 year? Then own 1 day. Today. This hour. This minute. What are you doing with it? Because that's the trick no one talks about. Millionaire status doesn't show up in one massive leap. It shows up in 10, 0 micro decisions. It shows up in the hour you didn't waste, The conversation you didn't avoid. The call you made when no one answered. The business you launched before it was perfect. Imperfect action. Relentless pursuit. That is the formula. And when it gets hard, when the motivation fades, when the dopamine dries up, when the doubt rises, return to gratitude. Not weak, fluffy gratitude. Warrior gratitude. Gratitude that stares into struggle and says, thank you, you're making me stronger. Gratitude that doesn't wait for things to go right, but finds the fire even when they go wrong. Gratitude that reminds you, I'm not entitled to easy, I'm here to earn everything. Because once you're grateful for the pain loses its power, and you gain yours. Let your vision feed your fire. Let your hunger be holy. Let your journey be so sacred, so serious, that the idea of quitting feels like betrayal. Because it is. Quitting on your vision is quitting on every version of you that tried, cried, and kept going anyway. Don't betray them. Honor them. Build for them. Become the millionaire they dreamed you'd be. You're not chasing a goal anymore. You're finishing a legacy. A legacy not written in money, but in mastery. Not measured by what you collect, but by what you conquer. Because a true millionaire doesn't just stack digits. They stack decisions. They stack moments of courage, of character, of clarity, until they've built a version of themselves that no economy, no recession, no opinion can ever take down. And if you're waiting for someone to give you permission, look in the mirror. That's the only approval you need. Stop negotiating with your potential. Stop bargaining with your calling. You don't need to be more qualified. You need to be more committed. And commitment means this. You burn the option to quit. You show up even when you're unseen. You stay in the fight even when it's unfair. You execute even when it's exhausting. And you do it without applause. Because in the early stages, no one claps. In fact, they criticize, they whisper, they doubt. And every time they do, you thank them. Because doubt is just another form of energy you can transmute into focus. Let them doubt. Let them sleep. You've got work to do. Real work. The work of building habits so strong they outlive your feelings. The work of mastering time. Because millionaires don't spend it. They invest it. The work of mastering emotion. Because millionaires don't react, they respond. The work of mastering value, because millionaires don't beg for wealth. They become irresistible to it. And here's the secret no one tells you. You don't rise by chasing money. You rise by chasing moments. The moment you chose discipline instead of delay. The moment you kept going when your body screamed, stop. The moment you launched that idea, even though fear choked your throat. The moment you forgave yourself and then recommitted harder. That's the path. That's the climb. It's steep. It's silent. It's savage. But on the other side of that mountain is you. The real you. The one who doesn't shrink. The one who doesn't wait. The one who walks like royalty because they've mastered the kingdom within. And when you get there, when you cross that invisible threshold and look back at the path you carved with your scars, your sweat, your strength, you'll realize something powerful. It was never about the money. It was about the man or woman you had to become to earn it. The one who rises without being asked. The one who leads without needing a title. The one who gives without needing to be seen. The one who became a force of nature, not by birth, but by choice. Millionaire? In a year? Yes. Not because it's easy, not because it's common, but because it's possible, and because you've already decided. And that's all it takes. Not talent, not a miracle, not permission, just a decision. And now that you've made it, there's only one thing left to do. Go prove yourself right. Prove yourself right in silence, in discipline, in sacrifice. Not once, but daily. Prove it when no one sees. Prove it when no one claps. Prove it when no one texts back. Prove it in the pitch that bombs. Prove it in the bank account that hasn't caught up yet. Prove it in the 5:00 a.m. grind when your bed begs you to stay. Prove it in the late night when you're building while others binge. Prove it until there's nothing left to prove, because your life is the proof. This is not about arrogance. It's about alignment. You're not better than anyone. but you are too powerful to keep playing small. You're not entitled to the result, but you are responsible for the effort. And if you're still breathing, if your hands still work, if your mind can still think, you have no excuse. You don't need another course, another quote, another guru. You need grit. You need a bias for action. You need to stop hoarding information and start executing like your future depends on it, because it does. And when it gets boring, when it gets lonely, when it gets repetitive and redundant and you wonder if it's even working, that's when it's working the most. That's the invisible work, the compounding that millionaires live for, because they understand that most of the growth happens after it feels pointless. You don't build a fortune by doing exciting things. You build it by doing the right things consistently when no one is watching, over and over again until momentum becomes the reward. And here's what happens when momentum kicks in. The world starts to notice. The deals show up. The money accelerates. The people who once doubted you start asking how you did it. And you won't have to explain a thing, because your results will speak. But you won't be surprised, because you know what it cost. You remember the sacrifices. You remember who you used to be, the one who almost quit, the one who almost settled, the one who almost went back to average. Almost. But you didn't, because you remembered who you are, because you remembered what's at stake. This isn't just about you. This is about your name, your lineage, your future children who will never have to taste the bitterness of poverty. Your future self who will wake up in a life that was once just a whisper, a journal entry, a fragile hope, and now it's real, because you stayed the course, because you earned it, because you became undeniable. This is your year, not because the calendar says so, but because you said so. You claimed it. And from this moment forward, you live like the outcome is already done. No more questions. No more hesitation. Only clarity, conviction, creation. So breathe in one last time. This is your beginning. The beginning of a life you don't need a vacation from. A life of freedom, of fire, of flow. A life where you became the one who refused to quit. A life where you became the millionaire who inspired millions more. This is not a dream. This is your destiny. Now go build it. Build it with every breath. Build it with every choice. Build it like the world is watching. Because even if it's not yet, you are. And that's enough. You see, the truth most never grasp is this. Wealth is not a finish line, it's a frequency. You either live in it or you don't. And the richest people on earth vibrate at that frequency long before the dollars show up, long before the recognition, long before the cameras. They embody abundance in how they think, how they serve, how they show up. That's your job now, to live from the vision, not the visible. To walk like every dollar has already arrived, not out of delusion, but out of divine alignment. Because the moment you match the energy of the life you want, the gap between you and it dissolves. It's not one day. It's today. It's every action taken with the certainty of someone who knows the universe pays those who are bold. And you will need to be bold. Bold enough to fail forward. Bold enough to launch without guarantees. Bold enough to break every inherited belief that said, you can't. You can. You must. Because when you rise, you don't just rise for you, you rise for every soul still stuck in the dark. You become a lighthouse. You become a standard. You become living proof that it's possible, not in theory, not in books, not on stages, but in reality. A reality you forged from sweat and struggle and self-mastery. And the beauty of this path is that once you become, no one can take it from you. The money can come and go. The titles can rise and fall. But the mindset, the character, the skills, they stay. They are yours forever. This is why becoming a millionaire is never really about the million. It's about who you must shed to step into, who you must become. And you've already started that process. Every word you've heard, every truth you've owned, every limitation you've shattered, that's a layer gone. Gone is the version of you that needed approval. Gone is the version that waited for motivation. Gone is the version that confused busy with productive. Now what remains is focused, disciplined, unstoppable. And as you step forward from this moment, remember this final truth. The world does not reward potential. It rewards performance, not in terms of entertainment, but in terms of execution. So don't just think like a millionaire. Don't just journal like one. Don't just speak like one. Perform like one. Live like one. Serve like one. And when doubt whispers, as it always does whisper back, I was born for this. I'm not hoping. I'm building. This is my year. This is my time. This is my rise. And then let your actions make it undeniable. Let your consistency become louder than your excuses. Let your schedule become stronger than your story. Let your mission outgrow your moods, your ego, your fear. Because greatness doesn't wait for perfect weather. It creates storms. And you, right now, are becoming the storm. Quiet, relentless, focused, unstoppable. You don't need hype. You don't need luck. You don't need another sign. You are the sign. The living evidence that with vision, discipline, and decision, all things are possible. Not for the chosen, not for the few, for anyone bold enough to commit at a level most only fantasize about. Yes, there will be pain, but that pain will purify. Yes, there will be tests, but those tests will testify. And yes, you will be tempted to go back to comfort, but you'll remember, comfort is where dreams die. Comfort is the lie that says later, when life demands now. Comfort is the graveyard of greatness. And you didn't come this far to end up buried under the bones of almost. You came to finish, to dominate, to transform, to build a life so rare, so free, so fully aligned with purpose that everyone who meets you feels it. Because millionaires don't just accumulate wealth, they radiate it. In energy, in presence, in clarity. They walk into a room and shift its temperature. Not because they shout, but because they become so clear, so grounded, so decisive, that their life speaks louder than their lips ever could. That's your future now, but only if you keep going. Keep refining. Keep becoming. You're not at the end, you're just catching fire. And as the months unfold, as your income multiplies, as your vision materializes, remember where it started. It started with a voice, a whisper that turned into a roar, a decision that turned into a destiny, and a soul that refused to stay asleep. You are that soul, awakened, armed with vision, alive with purpose, and absolutely unwilling to settle. So one last time, you want to be a millionaire? Then act like it. Think like it. Build like it. Become it. And don't stop until your life screams it for you. Because the most powerful statement you will ever make is not said with words. It is lived in the way you walk, in the way you command your time, in the way you refuse to shrink, even when the pressure feels unbearable. Every millionaire, every giant, every self-made architect of destiny, they all had that moment. The breakthrough moment. Not the day the money came, but the day they decided they were no longer available for average. The day they no longer negotiated with fear. The day they said, I'm done waiting. I'm done watching. I'm done wishing. That moment is now. This isn't a script. It's a mirror. And it's asking you, are you in or are you out? Because you can't fake this. You can't fake consistency. You can't fake hunger. You can't fake the kind of energy that wakes you up before the alarm because your dream is louder than sleep. You either live this or you don't. And if you do, the world won't just notice, it will respond. You'll watch opportunities open up like locked doors that suddenly recognize the key in your energy. You'll watch the right people show up, not because of chance, but because your frequency finally matched your future. You'll watch the money come not like a miracle, but like a magnet pulled by relentless value, focused fire, and a standard so high it made the universe rise to meet you. And when it comes, you won't be shocked. You'll be ready. Because deep down, you knew. This wasn't luck. This wasn't magic. This was you, the real you, the disciplined you, the fearless you, finally unleashed. So never again say, maybe someday. Say now. Say, watch me. Say, I've already won. I'm just collecting the evidence. And when it gets hard, good. That means you're on the path. When it gets dark, perfect. That means you're about to find your light. When it feels impossible, excellent. That means you're about to become unforgettable. And one day soon, when someone looks at your life and asks, how did you do it? You'll smile because you'll remember this moment, this voice, this decision. And you'll answer with just 2 words. I decided. And that decision, it echoed. It echoed through your routines. It echoed in your work ethic. It echoed in every sacrifice you made while the world was sleeping. It became your anthem. While others were distracted, you were dialed in. While others talked, you built. While others waited, you moved. And each day, the compound interest of your discipline stacked, invisible to the eye at first, but undeniable to the universe. Because energy can't lie. Action backed by belief becomes force. You didn't wait to feel ready. You didn't ask for the perfect plan. You acted. And action, repeated with purpose, becomes inevitable power. That's what creates momentum so strong it crushes every excuse. And when momentum arrives, it brings more than just income. It brings identity. You look in the mirror and realize you're no longer pretending. You are the real thing, no longer chasing, embodying. And what you embody, you attract. Money begins to chase you. Not because you tricked the system, but because you mastered yourself. Mastery, that's what it was always about. Not just mastering business, not just mastering strategy, but mastering your emotions, your time, your environment, your energy. You built a machine not outside, inside. And now you get to live the reward. Not just the wealth, but the knowing that no matter what happens, you'll rebuild. You'll reframe. You'll rise because you've done it before. You didn't just build income. You built certainty. That is the ultimate wealth. Because once you have certainty, confidence, and consistency, you are limitless. So don't slow down now. Let this be the year you shock the world. Let this be the year you shock yourself. Let this be the year the world remembers as the one where you turned your name into a brand, your effort into empire, and your purpose into prosperity. And never forget, it was never about becoming a millionaire. It was about becoming you. Unfiltered, unchained, unapologetic, unstoppable. And now you go. And you don't stop until the dream you've carried for years finally turns into the life you live every single day. More within you, more waiting for you, more rising in you with every decision to keep going. Because this isn't where it ends. This is where it begins. Every day from this moment is the continuation of a new story. The story of someone who stopped chasing and started claiming. Someone who stopped dreaming about success and started becoming it. You see, millionaires don't stop when it's hard, they lean in. They don't slow down when it gets dark, they light the way. They don't look around for confirmation, they look within. And you are that now. Not someday, not soon. Now, this moment has branded itself into your timeline. It cannot be undone. You've tasted clarity, hunger, vision. That doesn't fade, it multiplies. So, carry this fire forward. Let it grow. Let it stretch. Let it test every fiber of who you used to be until there's nothing left but truth. And the truth is simple. You are 1 year away from living a life that would blow your past self's mind. You are one decision away from breaking every limit you ever believed in. You are one identity shift away from stepping into a version of you so powerful, so disciplined, so free, that the world won't just notice, it will never forget. You are not done. You have only just begun. Now go make the world feel it. Because the fire doesn't go out. Not here, not now, not ever. Because once a soul is ignited with purpose, it can't return to silence. You've crossed the line. The line between wishing and walking, between someday and today, between living in shadows and stepping into the spotlight of your own becoming. And now, you carry a responsibility, not just to yourself, but to the people who are watching, the ones you don't even know yet, the ones in your future, waiting for your story to remind them of their own strength, the ones in your past who never made it, the ones right now, silently screaming for a leader who didn't quit. You are becoming that leader, not through perfection, but through persistence, through discipline, through defiance. Defiance of the limits they put on you, the boxes they stuffed you in, the ceilings they told you not to touch. And now, you're not just reaching, you're breaking through every ceiling, every chain, every old belief system that told you to play safe, stay quiet, be realistic. Realistic doesn't change the world. Realistic doesn't break poverty cycles. Realistic doesn't raise nations or rewrite history or create legacies. But you do, because you chose intensity over indecision. You chose commitment over convenience. You chose to build, to show up, to create, even when it was thankless, tiring, terrifying. That is the mark of someone destined for greatness. That is the heartbeat of a true millionaire. Not just because of the wealth you'll hold, but because of the weight you'll carry, the weight of responsibility, of leadership, of legacy. This isn't about proving them wrong anymore. This is about proving yourself right. So keep walking, keep executing, keep building that life so rich in character, in power, in freedom, that when others ask how you did it, you won't even have to speak. Your life will answer for you. And it will say, this is what happens when you stop wishing and start becoming. This is what happens when you go all in. This is what happens when you decide to rise. But just like in life, the end is never truly the end. It's the beginning of a new chapter, written in a different tone, a different rhythm, but always powered by the same fire. This script, this voice, it was never just about motivation. It was about awakening. Awakening the part of you that always knew you were built for more. The part that remembered, even when the world tried to make you forget. And now you've heard it. Now you can't unhear it. The words may end, but the decision does not. The real journey, the one that matters, begins after the voiceover fades. It begins in your calendar, in your morning routine, in the way you treat every minute like currency. It begins when you finally act on what you know and stop asking for more information as a disguise for procrastination. It begins when you move. So yes, this is the final breath of this message. But your next breath, that's where everything begins. So take it deep, take it with fire, and then go make this year the year that everything changed.